Good morning, Internet. How you doing today? It's Jeremy Reads Aloud, self-help books, books of inspiration and motivation for you. We're reading the book King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, Rediscovering the Archetypes of the Mature Masculine by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. Get the book yourself by clicking the Amazon link below. We're in Chapter 9, Conclusion, and the subheading we're reading now is Invocation. Here we go. Page 151. Invocation. A second technique we call invocation. This time, we access the masculine archetypes in their fullness as positive energy forms. This too may seem strange at first, but a moment's reflection will reveal to us that we do this kind of thing all the time. We all live our psychological lives unintentionally, for the most part, invoking images and thoughts that may or may not be helpful to us. Our minds are cluttered with sights, sounds, and words, many of which are unwanted. To see the truth of this, just close your eyes for a moment. Images will present themselves in the darkness, and thoughts, barely audible to the inner ear, will crowd into your mind. If active imagination dialogue is a conscious, focused way of talking to yourself, invocation is a conscious, focused way of calling up the images you want to see. Imaging deeply affects our moods, our attitudes, the way we look at things and what we do. Page 152. It is therefore important what thoughts and images we are invoking in our lives. Here's how to do focused imaging, or invocation. If possible, find a quiet place and time. Clear your mind as best you can, and relax, again, as best you can. We don't recommend long relaxation exercises as a necessary part of this process, although they can be helpful. Focus on an image that has both mental pictures and spoken words, spoken in your head at least. It is often useful to spend some time looking for images of the king, the warrior, the magician, the lover. Use those images in your invocations. Let's say you found an image of a Roman emperor on his throne, a still from a movie, perhaps, or a painting. During this exercise, set that image in front of you. As you relax, talk to the image. Call up the king inside yourself. Seek to merge your deep unconscious with him. Realize that you, as an ego, are different from him. In your imagination, make your ego his servant. Feel his calm and his strength, his balanced benevolence toward you, his watching over you. Imagine yourself before his throne, having an audience with him. In effect, quote unquote, pray to him. Tell him that you need him, that you need his help, his power, his favor, his orderliness, his manliness. Count on his generosity and his kind disposition. A young man once entered the therapy feeling very out of touch with his erotic side. He just couldn't make a quote unquote chemical connection with women. He wanted more than anything else to find a woman who would love him, a woman with whom he could have an exciting sex life, a woman he could marry. Part of the prescription in his therapy was to read all he could about the Greek god of love, Eros. especially the Cupid, Eros, and Psyche story, and then pray to Eros to help him to find sensual, to feel sensual and attractive. Shortly after, he began his invocations of the image of the lover. He went on a cruise. There he met, quite unexpectedly, a beautiful woman who felt that he was the most handsome, manly man she'd ever seen. She was experiencing the newfound Eros within him, which was filling his whole personality with its force and radiance. She even said to him, "You're a handsome, you're as handsome as a god." Several nights out, they made passionate love in the sea, the most wonderful sexual experience of his life. The two stayed in touch with each other after the cruise. Within a year, they were married, with a baby on page 153 on the way. He attributes his new, more rewarding life to his imaging and invocations of the lover. Page 153. Another man found himself needled and attacked by several female co-workers for his self-confident, manly ways. He found strength in a crystal pyramid that he kept on his desk. The pyramid form, as we have seen, is a symbol for the masculine self. Whenever he felt overwhelmed, he would take a 60-second breather. He would turn to his pyramid and imagine it inside himself, in his chest. The waves of the emotional attacks on his manhood crashed against its sides, trying to fragment it. But the waves always fell back, eventually spending their fury. His work situation didn't improve, but he was able to keep his balance, his calmness, and his centeredness most of the time, while he sought a better work environment. In the midst of a hectic day, this man could not fully ritualize his invocation, but many men, in the solitude of the late evening or the early morning, can. They sometimes even light candles and burn incense before an image of the archetype, honoring the archetype they are calling upon in an ancient yet very appropriate way. What we are suggesting is comparable to what religions have always called prayer, when that prayer was accompanied by ritual accessing of the god. Far from being idols, icons in Greek Orthodoxy and statues in Roman Catholicism serve to focus an image of the energy form that the believer is invoking. The image of the saint or god may become so fixed in a man's mind that he no longer has to have a graphic representation in front of him to feel the energies that flow from it. We'll take a little break here on page 153. We're on chapter 9, conclusion, subheading. We've just finished the subheading, this invocation. Tune in next time. Next video, we'll be reading the subheading Admiring Men. In the book King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, Rediscovering the Archetypes of the Mature Masculine by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. I encourage you to get the book yourself. Click the Amazon link below. This is Jerry Reads Aloud, Self-Help Books. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. And I would appreciate some interesting comments and questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you for watching. Young men, it's time to integrate the mature masculine archetypes into the psyche. Have a wonderful and enjoyable week. Enjoy your Halloween coming up. All the best. Bye. Till next time.